It looked like it's happening. Angel Reese is asking out of Chicago already.
Angel Reese officially puts the Chicago Sky on notice. We're not doing the same thing this offseason that we did last offseason. Stop bringing me bums to play with.
Fans aren't whispering anymore. They're yelling it from the cheap seats. Angel Reese didn't just put the Chicago Sky on notice. She may have packed the notice with bubble wrap, stamped it urgent, and slid it under the front office door at 3 a.m. Yes, you heard that right. In a Chicago Tribune interview, Reese made it crystal clear she's not settling for another offseason like the last one, demanding the organization surround her with good players, great players, and calling that non-negotiable. That's the headline. And here's why it matters right now. When a player publicly demands upgrades,
all the frustration inward, right at her.
We need great players, and I don't know what that will attract that. Maybe the practice facility will attract that. We'll see. But I think the priority is being able to convince free agents that this is an organization that is going in the right direction. I think, honestly, it would be a leap of faith for a great player to come here and show that this is something that they want to be a part of, and we can bring that championship mentality. A leap of faith to think that a great player would want to come to Chicago.
the locker room either rallies or ruptures. There is no middle lane. What followed, according to multiple reports, wasn't kumbaya, it was damage control. And before we even get to that, bookmark these 3 threads I'm going to pull later. What she said about Courtney Vandersloot that cut veterans to the bone. The suspension triggered by her 8th technical foul right.
We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, 2-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, dang. Oh, dang.
Before a marquee Sky, fever game, and the brutal stat that undercuts the entire power play, leading the league in turnovers despite missing weeks. Keep listening, because I'm going to show you how the gap between expectations and reality swallowed Chicago's season whole, and why, while one young star was burning social capital, another, Caitlin Clark, was quietly building a winning culture brick by brick. Let's click confirm the moment. Reese's message wasn't coded in corporate speak. It was direct, loud, and unapologetic. We need the best of the...
I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. Oh boy. Reese told the Tribune, we have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So it's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure we attract the best of the best, because we can't settle for what we have this year.
Best. We can't settle. I'm willing to help recruit, and if Chicago wants to keep me around, the standard is going up. That's the public sentiment part. Fans either loved the alpha energy or rolled their eyes at the audacity. Now the contrarian twist. When you plant a flag like that, you have to be the most dependable, low-drama player in the room. Quick proof that the opposite happened? Teammates were reportedly furious, a meeting had to be organized, and the league hit Reese with an automatic suspension for technicals right before the game everyone circled on the calendar. Roadmap for the next few minutes. We're going to unpack the interview and backlash, zoom into the on-court resume that weakened her leverage, walk through the front office moves Chicago already made for her, and then contrast it with Clark's professionalism and its ripple effect in Indiana. By the end, you'll see how Build Around Me turned into, are we sure she's the foundation? Start with the second best point first, the interview and the fallout. Public leverage plays are like open heart surgery. You only do them if you're precise and your vitals are perfect. Reese went scalpel free. I'm not settling for the same we did this year, she told the Tribune. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's non-negotiable for me. It's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure we attract the best of the best, because we can't settle for what we have this year. Read that again. That's not a soft nudge to the front office. That's a roster-wide audit on live record. Context. Chicago was already wobbling, missing pieces, fighting perception, and trying to align a young star's timeline with veteran bodies. Application. Her comments didn't just rattle a few feathers, they reportedly infuriated the room. Veterans who've bled for this league don't enjoy being dismissed. Younger players don't like being called mid. A team meeting doesn't happen when the vibes are healthy. It happens when trust is hemorrhaging. Framing. Leadership isn't what you say after the buzzer. It's how people respond when you talk. And the response here was, "We need to talk to you, not about them." Then came the shot that echoed beyond one locker room. Reese's comments about Courtney Vandersloot, an all-timer in the backcourt with trophies to back it, landed like a brick. Even acknowledging her as an asset, the suggestion that you can't rely on her at this age nudged a line you don't cross lightly in this league. Vandersloot isn't just a name on a jersey. She's a living resume of high-leverage decisions and games managed like symphonies. When you diminish that, you don't just poke a single player. You poke the entire veteran class that built the platform you're standing on. Mini cliffhanger. File that under receipts veterans never forget, because free agents talk and agents talk louder. Now the strongest point, the one that makes or breaks a public ultimatum, the on-court reality. If you're going to say upgrade the roster, you have to be the upgrade every night. The tape didn't tell that story. On paper, the box score looked fine at first glance, mid-teens in points, double-digit rebounds. But then the number that eats negotiations alive, leading the entire WNBA in turnovers while having missed weeks. Let that hang there. Fewer minutes than most top options, more giveaways than everyone. That's not the statistical backbone of a player who can command a roster renovation. That's the kind of efficiency red flag that makes the analytics department push back in the meeting. Pattern interrupt. Short, sharp, surgical. You can't call for reinforcements while giving the ball away. And discipline? The game demands it. The refs enforce it, and the standings punish it. Reese hit the technical threshold, picked up her 8th, and triggered an automatic suspension. Not on a random Wednesday. Right before the Indiana Fever matchup the league had been hyping for weeks. Whether you felt the contact to Aaliyah Edwards' head was intentional or just reckless, the whistle blew, the rulebook spoke, and Chicago lost its self-appointed tone setter for a marquee night. That's not lead from the front. That's handing the mic to the other team. Value loop it. Context. Physical game. Emotions up, stakes higher. Application. She's out. The sky's rotation bends. The messaging collapses. Framing. Expectations said alpha presence in the biggest moments. Reality delivered, avoidably unavailable. You can be the storm. You can't be the forecast, and the lightning strike the same night. Here's the knife twist the film room kept seeing. There were stretches where Chicago looked freer without her. The ball popped. The defensive urgency rose. The tempo synced. And yes, sometimes wins appeared when Reese didn't. That's not a personal insult. It's a basketball indictment. The mark of a star is simple. When you're on the floor, your team's ceiling gets higher. If lineups trend the other way, your brand turns into a paradox. The franchise player whose franchise functions better in reverse. Keep that paradox close, because it's the anchor of why this whole thing spiraled. Now zoom out to the front office board. You can't say the sky sat on their hands. Chicago already made a bold move for established talent, moving Sonia Citron to bring in Ariel Atkins, exactly the type of win-now piece Reese claimed she wanted alongside her. That's a sacrifice of potential future for immediate credibility. Reality check. Instead of gratitude, Reese's messaging suggested the organization hadn't done enough. That's tricky. When a franchise gives up a possible long-term cornerstone to satisfy your timeline, you have to reward that trust with steady play and quieter press. Otherwise, you make the decision-makers look like they're throwing darts with the lights off. IT didn't stop at veterans. Even younger teammates caught shrapnel. Names like Haley Van Lith and Rachel Berman floated into the crossfire as implicit, not good enoughs. That's the worst of both worlds. You alienate the experience you need in the playoffs and erode the confidence of the future you'll need to get there. Then the quote about free agency, how it might take a leap of faith for a great player to choose Chicago. It's brutally honest, but coming from your own locker room star, it sounds less like honesty and more like a billboard telling talent to think twice. Pattern interrupt. If your recruiting pitch is hold your nose and trust us, you're not recruiting, you're repelling. And this is where expectations versus reality turns into a split screen with another young face of the league. While Reese was spending capital with public demands, Caitlin Clark was running a masterclass in professionalism under a spotlight so bright you could sunbathe in it. Every dribble is a headline for Clark. Every missed three gets a think piece. And yet, through injuries and pressure, she traveled. She sat in street clothes with her team, she celebrated their runs, and she built equity the hard way. Presence, consistency, humility in pressers. She even praised Angel Reese after a game when the narrative begged for pettiness. That is not normal for 22. That is strategic adulthood. It influences everything. Aaliyah Boston's paint dominance looks easier with Clark's gravity stretching the floor, Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell relocate into rhythm threes instead of contested prayers, and the whole offense hums because the ball finds the right hands at the right time. The assist numbers say the same story out loud. League leading last year, still well above 8 a game this year despite missed time. Translate that. When Clark plays, 5 people eat. Media noticed. Executives noticed. Veterans noticed. The Fever's brand now screams connected, resilient, unselfish. The exact words their coach keeps repeating, not as slogans, but as daily habits. Meanwhile, Chicago's brand got stuck in apology tours, suspension graphics, and emergency team meetings.